The day is November 21st of 2022. This is Stasha Eriksen, and I happen to have a little downtime. I'm sitting here and winter has come here in Norway. Snow has hit the land for the first time, and everyone is shuffling around and taking the summer tires off of their car and putting winter tires on their car. And anyway, I was sitting here catching up with a client and was talking a little bit about spirit attachment removals. And as many of you know, this is the primary thing that I do. And if you don't know, then maybe you'll learn a little something here today. As far as I know, there's only myself and one other person that I've been able to find on the internet that removes spirit attachments from people. Her approach is much different from mine, and I was kind of explaining this to a client that the work that she does is she removes the spirits of dead people that she believes haven't passed on and attached to a human being. So her work is primarily and only removing dead people from people's bodies. Now, I just have a little bit of a hard time understanding how that could be possible. From the years of experience that I have been doing spiritual work, I have discovered that when people have an attachment of a spiritual nature, 9 times out of 10, we're dealing with a dark spirit here. We are not dealing with a dead person who didn't find the light. You know, and from my experience, a few things happen when you die. And I've had a few near-death experiences, so I know what I'm talking about. You die, and you go home, a.k.a. heaven, whatever you want to call it, and you say, you know what? I've lived enough. I've experienced enough. I'm done. I want to just chill and be done. Or B, you die, you go into what I kind of call the world between worlds, and you do this life review. You look and see all the lives you've had, all the experiences you've had, and you say, you know, I've learned this, I've learned that, but you know what? There's still more I want to learn. So then you decide to reincarnate and come back. That's why people get a little confused about reincarnation. People think reincarnation is a trap. It's not a trap. It's a choice. You can choose to expand your soul and learn more if you want to. So that's option B. Now then there's option C. Some people who die, particularly those who have like a tragic or a traumatic death or possibly a suicide, they can get stuck to Earth. They're afraid to go home for a number of different reasons. Some people are afraid to go home because they're afraid of what their quote-unquote punishment might be. And this is what the religion has done to instill so much fear into people, and it's really sad. People believe that, oh, you know, if you commit suicide, you're going to hell, you're going to burn in the lake of fire for eternity. No. If you've committed suicide, you've probably already suffered enough in your waking living life that the last thing God would want to do is make you suffer even more. But what does happen is there's like a lot of guilt around your spirit when you go in a tragic way like that, or just a tragic accident or something. Anytime it's a sudden, tragic, unfortunate death, you can kind of get stuck here on Earth. And it's because it might take you a little while to kind of realize you're dead. You could be in what I call like spiritual shock. And then there's some people, like let's say they had a really long illness, they were sick a long time, and you know, let's say it's an old person and they're afraid to leave their significant other behind because they believe that they're not going to be able to survive without them. So they kind of hang out a little while to make sure they're okay. Or if it's a parent who leaves their children behind, you know, they might hang out and make sure their kids are okay before they decide to go. When I was a respiratory therapist, I was very young. I worked in the ER, and there was a lot of patients who were in comas and things like this. And I could tell that, you know, there was no way they were going to come out of this coma, but their spirit was still there. They were very aware of what's going on. Anyone who's in a coma knows what's going on. And I could find myself kind of talking to these people and saying, you know what? I know you're just hanging on for your family, but it's okay to go. You know, it's okay to go. The longer that you prolong someone on a life support machine, it's actually just more painful for the family than anything. And so sometimes, you know, when people pass, they get stuck here, and it takes them a little while before they decide to go home. But trust me, they always go home. Then you always got good old Archangel Michael, you know, the right hand of archangel of God, who his job is really to take the hand of people and spirits and anyone who passes on and walk them home to heaven, or whatever you want to call it. So eventually you get there. So it was really hard for me to understand the direction that this other practitioner goes in as far as removing spirits, attachments from people. So again, I'm not doubting it. It's just in all my years of experience, I've never heard of such a thing. It doesn't really make sense to me. So I was trying to explain to people what a spirit attachment is and what it is that I do to remove them from people. So essentially, when people go through a really traumatic event of some kind, a spirit of a darker origin, a lower negative entity, will be attracted to your depression, your darkness, your sadness, your fear, etc., etc. And this could happen a number of different ways. It could be a traumatic event, a loss of a loved one, even a major surgery, anything, a divorce, anything that kind of shifts your energy from how it normally would be into a lower, darker place. Lower negative entities use you like a battery and essentially feed off of your sadness, your darkness, your despair, and your negativity. And because spirits don't have bodies, the only way they can exist is to find a body. So that's why the other woman's whole theory of actual human beings that are dead clinging to a body doesn't make sense, because they can easily just reincarnate and choose another body. But lower negative entities, we'll just call it like it is, demonic spirits, if you will, they're not allowed to have bodies for a reason. These are the same spirits that we read about in the Bible that got banished in the fall. I mean, this is really how ancient it is. So they're punished. They're not allowed to have bodies. They know that. And the only way they can exist on this plane is to attach to human beings, use their bodies like vessels. And if they're attached to somebody long enough, eventually this can become a possession. This is what we see in scary movies, whatever. But it's actually becoming more common that people are actually releasing footage of people who are possessed in exorcisms. And this stuff is legit. There's a recent one I just saw on Netflix, a series from Mexico. I can't remember what it was called, My Encounter with a Spirit or something like that. There was another one, 28 Days, something to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren's work. Anyway, there's more and more of this stuff being released. So people are no longer saying that, oh, this is just scary movie, BS, Hollywood BS. It's not. Demonic possession is extremely real. I have seen it in a number of occasions. And it's very scary. The majority of the people I've seen who are demonically possessed are in the major cities like New York City, Hollywood, Los Angeles, California, Paris, these big cities like this, right? London. Oh, London's full of them. So, yeah, they thrive on sadness, on despair, on, lack of hope. And they start using you like a battery. And so when they've attached to you, a number of different symptoms can come up. You can start having issues with your mind. Some of the spirits like to attach to all your different chakras. You got the crown chakra, which controls your thoughts, your mind. And you've got the throat chakra, which, attaches to how you speak, how you express yourself, how you communicate. You've got the heart chakra. Of course, that's going to affect your heart, feeling heartbroken. Down to the solar plexus, you're going to have anxiety, knots in your stomach, digestion issues. Even down to the sacral area, which is the sexual organs. You might have sexual dysfunction or sexual addictions, or, it goes on and on and on. And this is how they feed on the energy centers and chakra centers, because they are basically little meridians that are full of energy. And this can be proven just through ancient Chinese medicine. You talk about meridians and chakras and stuff like this. This is no hocus pocus. This is very, very old traditions and documented stuff. So I think people just put all these things into different categories, and they think that there's no way a possession could be attached to anything, that has to do with Chinese medicine or this or that can't be attached to this and that. No, everything is connected. Everything is so connected. Now, I went fully on the religious side, got my world religion degree and all that. I went fully on the New Age side and got, certified in the Reiki and all the alternative healings and stuff like that. And then I even went down the road of learning all the esoteric and occult stuff, Freemasonic books, all of these things. I had to learn a little bit of everything over all of these years that I've been on this spiritual journey so that I could literally understand where anybody was coming from. Anyone who came my way that needed help, I could understand them. Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, whatever, atheist, Satanist. I've helped everybody. And that's because I stay right in the middle. I stay neutral and I don't judge anybody. Judge not lest ye be judged, right? So, because of that, because I've always been this kind of middleman, neutral person, I've made friends with people of all backgrounds, and I truly understand them because I don't impose my will on anyone, and they don't try to impose their will on me. People come to me because they don't understand what's happening to them spiritually, and they know or they can feel something with my energy that I'm genuinely trying to help a human being get out of an invisible bond that has trapped them. And people don't understand this stuff. And things like curses and possessions, there's evidence of this in every single culture in the world. You name it. Seriously. I think it's funny. I put a post on Facebook about curses, and Facebook flagged it and said I was sharing false information because curses apparently weren't real. Wow. I was like, has anyone even just read the Holy Bible? For God's sakes. What about Egypt? What about all the curse of King Tut and the mummies and the tombs? I mean, seriously, there's so much proof of curses. It goes on. And the same in the Quran, the Islam beliefs, Muslim belief. Almost every single religion, belief system, whatever, talks about this stuff. Curses, possession, everything. Possessions are heavily documented in the Holy Bible. I mean, remember Jesus was, chasing demons out of people and all this stuff. So I'm just trying to give people different ways that they can understand that this is not so out there. This isn't so far out there. These are very old traditional beliefs that people need to seriously take seriously, because right now there's this spiritual uptick happening, and it's a spiritual uprising, and a lot of people kind of raising their vibrations and opening and being aware spiritually, and it's great. They're having rapid spiritual growth. And there's also this uptick in so many people who are going the downward direction. I won't say right or wrong. Everyone's got their own path. But going on the lower direction and focusing on things that are material and lower. And we see this in the music and in movies and television and actors and celebrities, and especially the music industry. Oh my God, don't get me started on the pop stars and the singers and how sad it is that they've all literally given up their souls for what? For the whole world to know who they are? So what? You can't have any privacy? If anyone thinks fame is something to look forward to, they have a lot to learn. Why do you think I left Hollywood to come to the middle of nowhere in Norway and find my peace? Just think about that. People think I'm crazy whenever I tell them I'm from Hollywood and I'm living out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, try living in the cesspool of demons every single day and having a spiritual awakening, and try to, wake up every day and be part of that when you've just already seen the veil come down and you've seen how much more there is to life and how much deeper of a meaning we all need to find within ourselves and within other people. So that's why I had to walk away from Hollywood. I couldn't spend one more day working in television or doing any of that crap because I just knew how fake it was. I could see the fakeness, the falsehood. And so many people are going this direction of, oh, witchcraft is cool, and let me do some spells, and 666, and I'm going to get a, pentagram upside down tattoo on my forehead. Like, seriously. It's just pathetic. And I get it. If people are legit Satanists and that's what they believe, good for you. That's your thing. Fine. Again, I'm not here to judge anybody. But if you're someone who's picking up on this stuff and doing it because you think it's cool or trendy, let me tell you, anything that you're learning from the internet or from music is not real witchcraft and is definitely not real black magic. And you need to be really careful what you dip into, because there is a lot of people that will put out false information about these things that is just simply not true. And you could be doing spells and things that are really dangerous and could, condemn your soul or really harm yourself or your family, your children, your loved ones, people around you. And let me just explain that this is basically what I do all day long. This is the people that come to me all day. They're dabbling with witchcraft and spells and things that they find on the internet, and then it ends up taking over their whole life. And it's just so sad and so scary. So my job right now is literally cleaning up spiritual messes of people that don't understand what they've done to themselves. These type of spirits, people summon spirits on purpose because they think they're going to get power or money or control or fame or whatever it is that they want. And then these spirits are not going to leave you alone. You're basically marrying these spirits. You got succubus and Jezebel and night hags and incubus that have sex with these people, have sex with human beings when they're sleeping. And it gets deep. And those people basically end up married to a demon. Legit. I mean, do some research. Google night hag. Just those 2 words. Do a little research, you guys. Yeah, has anybody out there had sleep paralysis? Well, 9 times out of 10, sleep paralysis comes from a night hag, an incubus, or a succubus. And this is a demonic spirit that sits on your chest and holds you down when you're sleeping and basically rapes you in your sleep. And once you have sex with this being, spirit sex, I don't even know how people or why people do this. It just blows my mind, but it's real. After the 500th person who's come to me told me the same story and I do the research, I'm like, whoa, this is real. These things, you think you're just having spirit sex or it's a dream, or they'll come to you in your dream and they'll appear as somebody else, like your celebrity crush, and you'll think you're having like a sex dream, and guess what? They're tricking you. They're shapeshifters. They come and they will steal your energy through your sexual organs, through your root chakra, sacral chakra, and they own you. And when you start doing this stuff, it is very, very serious, you guys, and there is almost no coming back from it. I'd say 7 out of 10 people that get really dark spirit attachments won't be lucky enough to find somebody like me to help them remove them. Their spirit attachment will get so heavy and so intertwined with them that eventually it will become a full possession. And once someone is fully possessed, yes, they can be exorcised out, but I'm telling you, it is tough, and you got to be a really good priest or exorcist practitioner to actually be able to pull off an exorcism. I have seen priests from the Vatican and from all over, and they fail. So if you're not really a true in your faith believer in these things, yeah, you're not going to be able to remove spirits from people once they're possessed. So I don't know why God tapped me on the shoulder to do this. It's me and one other lady out there. I'm serious. I'm not going to say her name because I'm not trying to put anybody's work down. But I'm just letting you know that I am so busy right now because there is this huge uptick in this spirit attachment activity happening to people. And again, the symptoms are like, I don't even know how many symptoms there are. Anything that changes who you were before this happened. Addictions, negative thoughts, feelings of suicide, feeling cold all the time, feeling afraid. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And, it's just affecting so many people, and I just felt like I really needed to come on and talk about it. I don't want to make videos on YouTube anymore because every time I make a video, YouTube has a problem with it. They take it down. Anytime I try to talk about anything on Facebook, it gets taken down. And obviously, all that does is prove to me that whatever I'm saying and whatever I'm sharing is legit. They're obviously threatened by whatever I'm saying, or otherwise they wouldn't bother giving me copyright strikes on YouTube or taking my posts down on Facebook. So it only proves to me more that what I'm doing is legit, and they're afraid because most of the people that own these big corporations are demons, are people that have fully possessed a human being. When I say demons, it's a demonic attachment that's possessed a human being, and the human being at some level, if you're going to be fully possessed, they're okay with it. They think, oh, I'm going to get some money, I'm going to get some fame, I'm going to get something out of this. So they're usually okay with it. So you can't really feel really so bad for anyone who's fully possessed. But someone with a spirit attachment, 7 times out of 10, it's not their fault. I can remove it. And what the authority that God has given me is to be able to remove a spirit that's attached to somebody that is innocent. In other words, somebody who did not summon a spirit to themselves, someone who did not do a spell, someone who did not ask for it, somebody who has been attacked because they are going through a tough time, a traumatic time, and these sneaky ass spirits have decided to take advantage of somebody's sadness and despair and use that like food as a battery for them to keep being on this plane when they are not allowed. And I know there's plenty of them listening to this right now, and you better be afraid, because I know how to get rid of you. Our big papa up in the sky, we have a heavenly father, a God of this universe, and he has taught me how to remove you guys. And there's other people like me, but there's people do these things sneakily. I call them sneak healers. There's people that you don't even know are just walking by you in the grocery store and helping you like this. But then there's somebody like me that has to have a voice and has to get out there and be brave enough to talk about it. No matter how many people want to say I'm crazy, I don't care. I know the work that I do is legit. You go on my Etsy page and look at the 3,000 plus people just on Etsy alone that I have removed spirits from in the past 10 years. That's not including my own website and people I do via donations on PayPal. I mean, I don't even know. I could be up to 10,000 people at this point. I don't even keep track. Just anyone who comes my way, I help them. And you can see these testimonials that people leave on my page. I don't even bother sharing testimonials or try to toot my horn. I don't even advertise my services. I haven't made a YouTube video in 6 months. I say to God, send me who needs my help. Send me who I can help. Send me who legitimately needs help. And show me the way and teach me and give me the power to free them from these invisible bonds that are holding them back from being able to live the best version of this life that they can. And guess what? He does. And guess what? I do. And, you know, it really makes me cry because, you know, humanity is such a beautiful thing. Human beings, honestly, are such beautiful, beautiful creatures at their soul. And to see so many people suffering every single day, it just breaks my heart. And I think the saddest part is the lack of faith that people have in something greater than themselves and something higher than themselves. And my wish for humanity is that people could just to believe in something. And even like I said, even if you just want to call it the God of the universe or Father of the universe or Mother of the universe, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. You don't have to put a label on it. It doesn't have rules. But you need to believe in something and realize that there is something and somebody out there that created you, that loves you, and wants to see you thrive and shine. And I'm just one person, but that's what I want for everybody. And that's why I do this work. And it can be really tough. I get attacked. I have to keep my guards up all the time. It's tough because it makes me not trust people. And I'll be totally honest, in Norway, I don't have one single friend. I've got my husband, I've got my family, and for me, I feel safe with that. But I even have tried to befriend people, and almost everywhere I go, most people I encounter have some type of a spirit attachment, and I'm such an empath and so sensitive to it that it's really tough for me to make relationships with people, just even as friends. Most of my friends are my clients because they're going through stuff that I can relate to, and I free them from this stuff, and then I become like a sister and a friend to them. So that's why I do the work that I do. I'm going to cut this off now, but I'm sending you all so much love and peace, and I'll leave a link to my Etsy shop at the bottom of this video. And if you or somebody out there is suffering and needs my help, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, God was just wanting me to talk to all of you today because I think there's a lot of you out there that need my help. And I try to make my services very affordable. And if you're somebody out there that can't afford to get work done, please contact me anyway. I will take donations to help people. I just want to help as many human beings as I possibly can to the best capacity that I can while I'm still here on this planet. And that's what God has asked me to do. And I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I am far from perfect. But what really matters is that we wake up every day and we make the best decision we can. We try to do the next right thing that we can. We try to make decisions that feel good in our heart, in our soul, and at our core. And that's all that God and the universe want for us. Could you imagine creating all this beauty and just watching it get destroyed and watching people not care and watch people just be selfish and give up? Or make a mockery or a fool of this beauty? Have you just looked at a tree or a park or a flower or a freaking dog or a cat? This place is amazing. There is so much beauty everywhere. There's no need for all of this sadness and despair. So please, listen to what I have to say. Share this with someone you love. Think about someone around you that you feel might be affected in this way. And please reach out to me. Because, again, I don't know why I've been given this gift, but I have. And it works. And I just want to help as many people as I can. That's it. I love you all so much. Again, I would have made a video, but I'm literally sitting in a parking lot in a long line waiting to get my tires changed from summer to winter. This winter has come in Norway. And, these are the simple things that actually bring me joy right now. I'm glad that there's snow. I'm from Southern California. When I got here, I was dying that we had 3 months of darkness and below zero temperatures. It took me so long to adjust to this different style of living, but I am grateful now. I am so grateful for the beauty of wherever I go on this planet, because I know that nature is ancient, and so are we. We were not born yesterday, and we need to remember we have a lot of knowledge deep within our hearts and souls, and the world deserves to see your gifts, and you deserve to share your talents and gifts and love with this planet. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see anybody suffering anymore. I want to see people creative and happy and creating and just spreading love and being love. It's so simple. That's all it takes, you guys. Doesn't have to be hard. Okay, this is Stasha Eriksen, November 21st, 2022. 10:53 a.m. from Fredrikstad, Norway, signing off. I love you all. Peace.